101.7 WMMS.
Cleveland.
An iHeart radio station.
A lot of people point out to me that, NyQuil has alcohol in it, which is probably why your dreams are so strange on it.
Well, maybe. Oh, are we going to have everybody texting in now that I'm not sober? You're not sober because you take NyQuil.
I haven't seen that, but people are like, remember, that's probably what might be contributing, since you are 9 months sober, that might be contributing to you having goofy dreams.
No, this has happened always. Anytime I've taken NyQuil, I've had crazy dreams. But that's the only type of, nighttime cold medicine. I like those dissolvable Alka-Seltzer tablets. I like those a lot. It doesn't happen when I take those.
Only with the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine.
Correct.
Is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Dream like you're dying medicine.
That's right. Well, it is funny, though, that they went from NyQuil, which is, cold medicine, to hey, our research and development department has told us a lot of people just use this to sleep.
Yeah.
Let's come up with something just for sleep, and we'll call it. So now they sell you Z-Quil, which is just knockout juice, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's is it more than just melatonin? Because that's what with an optimal dose of melatonin for you to rest through the night
it's
or
more
whatever.
than just melatonin.
It's
I didn't know
gotta
if they
be
were
more than-
adding other medicine
Probably.
to it?
Well, whatever is it, they probably add
Whatever makes you sleepy.
whatever's in the drowsy part of NyQuil probably goes in there. I've never used it, but from what I hear, boy, it just knocks you the F out.
My dad has a prescription for Ambien, and I took one
God.
of those one time. And you want to talk about crazy dreams? Ambien gave me some crazy nightmares.
Well, if you stay in bed, nightmares are the least of your problems. I mean, there's people gain weight on Ambien because they eat overnight and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard
It'll
Ambien
mess you
stories
up,
by now. Guy's out in the middle of a field working the tractor. He's like, how the hell did I get
idea
here?
it was here, right? Yeah.
He was tilling the fields in his jammies. They are investigating an LAPD cop because his body cam footage showed him fondling a dead woman's breasts.
Oh my goodness.
How dead was she, though?
How big were they?
I don't know how big they
How
were.
dead was she? How big were
Freshly
they?
dead?
Could he say he was checking
She
for
was
pulse?
only mostly dead.
If the blood
Do
was
you
still
check
warm,
for a pulse by squeezing a teat?
I don't know.
the blood might still be warm.
I'm not a law enforcement agent.
The officer and his partner responded to a call about a possible dead woman in a residential unit. Once the two officers determined the woman was dead, one officer returned to the patrol car to retrieve something. During that time, the other officer turned off his body camera and allegedly fondled the woman's breasts. So they're checking... so I guess it wasn't filmed, but they're checking the body camera footage. Oh, although he deactivated the camera, a 2-minute buffer on the device captured the incident. Okay, so it did record. Boy, they're all over the place here.
Ah, that's smart, though. Making it a delay. You can turn me off, but I still know 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the cop, why would you not know that, by the way?
That's what I was going to say.
they
I
probably
wonder
don't
if
want
they
him to
tell him
know.
Yeah, they
that.
probably don't want him to know that.
You don't think so?
No.
I want to know corruption.
No, he's just trying to feel some boobs. No harm, no foul.
No, there
She's
was
a dead lady.
There was a rumor.
You want dead lady boobs, though?
I don't, but this cop did. He saw it. He probably...
Does rigor mortis set in the boobies?
No.
That's
Right now.
Rigor mortis.
Yeah. When your whole body stiffens
Well,
after you die?
that's a muscle thing.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
no.
That's what I'm
happened to
saying.
him.
Did it happen in your boobs?
I
He
don't
was
think that's
getting rigor
awful.
mortis from the body.
There was a rumor going around. There was actually like an article about it that when Whitney Houston passed away in the bathtub, she was nude. But when the people came in to wheel her out, the one guy snuck a peek and then he fondled her or something like that. And one guy reported it saying that was just so disrespectful and blah 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 blah. And
What is that? Something of a corpse. Well, not
Violation
mutilation,
of
but
a corpse
yeah.
or something.
But yeah, I mean, so it was never. I think everyone was really hush hush about it afterwards because they didn't want to make a big thing about it. But yeah, that was a rumor going around. So it probably happens a lot, especially with celebrity deaths. You're like, oh, this is the last time I'm going to see Amy Winehouse's, yabos. Let me just get a little peek.
Right,
peek
but
real quick.
Why are we talking about dead yabos, Daddy?
At that point, it is the first and last time you're going to see Amy
it's better
Winehouse's
than not at all.
Is it?
I mean, I'm thinking from a straight man's perspective. I don't know.
If I'm a cop and I find dead Whitney Houston in a bathtub,
Still Whitney Houston, it's more than
right?
you've ever seen.
But I go, okay, but first of all, I'm not so psychotic that just any random dead woman is going to make me want to squeeze her boobs.
Not random.
Touch her boobs.
But I don't know her, so she's random to me. I walk in and go, oh my God, here's a dead woman who happens to be a global superstar. But I didn't know that before I'm sure somebody told those guys, but no. But rigor mortis, I mean, that's all fatty tissue. That's not good. Your joints and your muscles are what tighten up rigor mortis, and it happens pretty quickly. I think, like within a couple hours.
So then they'd be still flopping all over if the rest of your body's extra
Squishy
stiff.
boobs.
Flopping, nice.
What's the flopping sound? If you like big flopping
myself a
boobs,
note.
go to AlanCoxShow.com. Check out Mary's wardrobe malfunction.
If you're gonna do that, at least follow me on Instagram. You're gonna
Get some followers
Yeah,
out of it.
right.
We'll post it on your Instagram. And
No.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing all the work?
Doing OnlyFans discount for
Yeah,
Christmas
right.
season.
Only fans, only fun bags. So yeah, they're looking into that. If you found a naked celebrity in the tub, you would fondle her, is what you're saying?
I'd
No, I
look.
would.
Sneak
No,
a peek.
I wouldn't.
I'd definitely look. Like,
Well, no. You look. You can't help but look. I mean, you're there. If you're law enforcement,
But what if
you're
they
there,
were clothed?
Huh?
What if they were clothed?
I'm not taking anyone's. If it's an
You don't
easy
have to take
peek, I'll take the easy peek.
An easy peek.
But I'm not.
You're not unzipping anything.
I'm
or
not
unstrapping
unstrapping.
it?
No, that's
no,
weird.
no.
No.
Was Whitney Houston naked?
She was in the bathtub.
Yeah, she's in
Right, but some people will keep their clothes on and still drown themselves. I mean, I didn't know if she had
She was
died
naked.
taking a bath and was drunk and fell asleep.
She had a heart attack.
Heart attack. Okay. Heart attack.
Yeah, and so she was already nude, and then the coroner comes in or whoever comes in. I think they called the paramedics, but she was.
Well,
already
you
dead.
figure a person of hotel staff found her first, yeah?
No,
and then
her,
called.
her brother did.
Oh, her brother found her.
Yeah. Who was supposed to be her bodyguard?
Oh,
He
that's
didn't.
weird.
I know.
After the movie she was in,
Ugh.
and her brother's her bodyguard.
But I wouldn't want family
Yeah.
to be my bodyguard anyways. Like, I don't want my brother taking a bullet for me. That's selfish. I need a stranger that I pay to do that.
what's
Yeah, but
selfish?
when you fall in love with him, like she did in the movie.
So what?
I'm just saying.
Not get on this topic. Back to the rigor mortis and boobs.
Rigor
Yeah,
mortis
let's keep
and
it light.
boobs.
Let's talk about
Mornings on the Rock of Portland. Well, it brings up an interesting thing. BuzzFeed quizzes are usually kind of dopey, but I came across one this morning that I thought was interesting enough. It's called "Is This Stealing?"
Okay.
And they've taken polls on this, and they just ask people scenarios. Do you consider this stealing?
Taking a poll is stealing. It was not your poll. Shouldn't take it.
Reposting stuff on Instagram that you didn't make.
Oh boy, here we go. I'm ready for this.
You put an avocado through the self-checkout as an onion and save yourself $1 at the supermarket.
Yes,
Is
that's-
that stealing?
That's
Yes.
stealing.
Stealing, yeah.
Now, some people will say, yes, that's stealing, but other people will say, well, you're already asking me to do your job, and I'm not getting... Well, no, hear me out. I mean, it's kind of a hacky stand-up bit at this point, but it does have a kernel of truth. The self-checkout lanes are very popular. I use them all the time. But I am doing your job.
And
I'm
you're not paying
getting,
me.
And I'm not getting paid for it.
So I'm saving these 10 cents as my wages for
There
doing
are
this job.
there are times that you will go to a grocery store and they don't give you the option because there's no one on a conveyor belt. There's no clerk. So you have to go to the self-checkout.
Yeah, Target early
I'm
in the morning.
there or grocery stores. I've been to Giant Eagle before where there is no one manning a register. So you go in, which I normally would go self-checkout anyway, but I don't even have the option. So then you're like, okay, well, now I'm doing your job, and I'm not being paid for it.
Right.
I have to pick out my own food, and now you want me to scan it, bag it, and pay you for this, right? Anyway.
and it's
You
only a
guys
matter
say-
of a couple cents.
You guys say, yes, it is stealing.
I say it's stealing only if it's your food, but if you are going through and doing like a Postmates thing, or like one of those grocery apps where you are the grocery buyer for someone else, and you buy this stuff and then keep the money for yourself on the savings, maybe that's not stealing.
That's way more stealing.
That's way more stealing.
That's way more
All
of
right,
stealing
well,
than the other way
Way
around.
more stealing.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess they're still going
73
to see the receipt, too. so, yeah.
73% of the people said that they thought it was
Yeah,
stealing.
it's stealing.
That's stealing.
What else you got?
We've been over this before where I don't feel as bad stealing from large corporations, though. I don't feel bad stealing from Giant Eagle.
Doesn't make it any less stealing, though.
No, it doesn't, but I don't feel as bad about it.
You don't feel as bad, yeah.
Right. It's not like a fruit stand from a one-dude farmer who's out there picking the apples himself. That I'm not going to take your apple.
Hey,
Giant
bring
Eagle?
the back of my Macintosh!
It always makes me laugh when people steal from their job. They're like, well, they don't pay me enough.
Right, well, that's the same argument that's going on here.
They're not
Why
gonna
don't
pay
you
you
just
at all.
steal from the guy that's selling the apples when he's selling the apples? You go to his farm, just pick everything because no one's there.
Because you
The
don't know
one guy
what's ready
farm.
or what's not.
It's the one guy farm.
But you
yeah.
have no idea if that apple's ripe or not. You can't
you
just
don't
be
know
out
when an
willy-nilly
apple's
pick.
ready?
You definitely could not eyeball the ripeness of an apple. No way. No shot.
No, but you could tell if it was visibly gross.
Right, it would be on the ground.
Yeah, but
But
if
it-
it's intact, you take your...
You're going to take your risks. What if you get an unfinished apple?
You might get a mealy one. That's the
Mealy,
worst
sour.
that you can get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you pick. But when you grab it, you'll feel how firm it is. You can see what it looks like. I think you know when an apple's pretty ripe.
Your way of stealing is very... it's a lot. You're going out of your way.
Nah.
All right, what's next?
You borrowed
eccentric.
something from a friend and mean to give it back, but keep forgetting. They haven't asked for it back. Goes to Poundcake's dildo story. But you would give it back if they did ask. Have you stolen their thing?
No.
No.
You just forgot. You just keep forgetting.
80% said no. You just keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's something that
And there's a
you're
lot of
using all
times
the
where
time.
they'll say
and you're like,
they'll go, just keep it.
yeah.
Like, and then it ends up being a gift.
A friend leaves something at your house. You ask them to pick it up, but they never do, and it's been there for months now. If you just accept it as your own possession, is that stealing?
No.
That's the law.
9/10 of the law is possession.
No, I'm just saying it's the law. Like if you leave something at a certain amount, like a certain
A
amount of
lost and
time,
found?
like it is yours.
7 days was the rule at the restaurant, or 2 weeks maybe. It was either 7 or
Unclaimed
14
7 days.
before you could go start taking stuff out of
I had
the
a
lost and
friend-
found. You know how many umbrellas I've never paid for an umbrella once in my whole life.
I was going to say, what kind of great stuff are you going to find in a lost and found?
Sunglasses, umbrella,
Maybe a phone charger.
yeah, something like
Oh.
that.
I mean,
Alright.
you worked at a hotel before the age of the phone charger, but now the forgotten phone charger is like all through hotels.
I left a straightener at my last hotel, and I was like,
I guess that's true. You can get a lot of gold
Mm-hmm.
at hotels now, yeah.
it's usually like 2 weeks, or at least
Yeah.
that was what it was at the
I
restaurant.
had a friend that stayed over my house quite often, and every single time he would always sleep shirtless. And for whatever reason, he would have an undershirt, or he would just take a shower the next day and then forget an item of clothing. I got jeans, I got button-ups, I got hats. I'm like, man. Every time I need some new clothes, I'm like, hey, buddy, why don't you
Come stay over?
Stay over, because he had the freshest gear, but he would just like disregard it like it was nothing. He's like,
What size are you? Stay over.
He's like, I think I had a belt, but I don't remember. And then 2 weeks
And
later,
he didn't notice that his own wardrobe was being decimated over the course of a few months?
I don't think he was missing it that much, but he would see
Wow.
me occasionally. We'll be out at the bars. I'll be downtown or whatever, and he'd be like, "Hey!" And I just so happened I was wearing his shirt.
What had happened was...
He was like, "I think I have one of those." I was like, "No, this is yours." I copped to it. I was like,
Oh, you
yeah.
did? You're like, he's like, have that
I was like,
exact
"This
same
is
shirt.
yours. Stop leaving your stuff in my house." He's like, "Yeah, that's a bad habit."
What if you don't tell them that they forgot their thing and they keep it? Is
That's
that
stealing.
stealing?
That's
That's
stealing.
yeah.
Okay. 77%.
I think stealing is more, it's like the deception in
The
it.
intent, the deception,
Yeah,
stealing hearts.
correct.
You post something on your Instagram that isn't your work. You state in the caption that it isn't your work, but you don't link or give the name of the artist. Is that stealing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta. Well,
That one was a little closer.
It's
well, because
digital.
you
I don't
well,
care.
and
You
you
put it
can
out there to the
You
world.
can also say, "Hey, this isn't mine," which then but you should give credit. You'd be like, if anybody knows
if you
who
can,
did this,
but what if you didn't know who
If you
did
don't
it?
know
Like,
who's
let's
it is.
or at least throw up like, "Hey, if you know who this is, DM me or whatever."
Man,
but,
that's Instagram. Who cares? Like, you put it out there to the world.
no, that's not who cares, because this is what happened with that whole F Jerry account, is that they were taking things from comedians, making money off of it, and not giving any credit to comics. That's you're stealing money
but
from
you
me.
need to trademark or copyright or
How
whatever.
are you going to trademark a tweet?
Or a joke.
Yeah,
or a
and-
joke,
yeah,
or
and
an
then just copy
Instagram
and
video.
paste it,
They
yeah.
take something off of your Instagram, change
Crop
the
you
name
out,
on it,
yeah.
and make it to be their own.
I know, but
that's
I just-
stealing. It's
but-
intellectual property.
Intellectual property, but you need to be more protective of it, I
How?
guess.
How do you trademark or do anything to a tweet?
And because you're also trying to
Don't put it on
disseminate,
Twitter.
but you're trying to disseminate your work,
Right.
So that people will.
So that when people see it and it goes viral, then I get paid.
But why do you think that people have their own apps like Tidal and stuff like that? Because people don't want their stuff out there streaming all the time on YouTube. Like they don't want a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but most
on
people
Twitter.
aren't Jay-Z.
But
A, most people aren't Jay-Z. B, nobody uses Tidal.
And YouTube
So where's
is
the point of
different,
that?
Where if they're posting something on YouTube, the artist still gets paid. Like we have this every single day. Alan plays a song that will go onto our YouTube channel, and I can either delete it or I can let them get the revenue from it. But I don't get any. We don't get any revenue if there's a video that.
And I get
has
emails
other
all the
stuff.
time saying that something got flagged or whatever.
Yeah, I get 'em
because,
too.
well, 59% of the people they talk to, and all these votes, they have about 100,000 votes for each one of these questions, and 59% of the people said that is not stealing.
You have to credit the person, man, or
If
at
you
least,
can,
or
I
if you
guess.
can,
If you
or at
can,
least
yeah.
put it out there. Hey, if you know who this is,
And I'm always like, I love, like, I'm always looking at memes and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I very rarely will throw them on my story. And if I do, I try to tag whoever
who you
made
got it
them.
from, or yeah.
Here's a text. Hashtag effing kill Poundcake with razor blades. Now, I can't attribute that to the person because I don't know who sent me that.
Well, just say the phone number.
I certainly don't want
Yeah,
to
just
steal
read
it.
the whole phone number
Why
out
do
loud.
people want to kill me in such a brutal way? Like, I understand them wanting to kill me, but why
Because
I
they
gotta be
want to
to
make sure that there's no chance you'll survive it.
People are haters.
The
man.
cashier doesn't notice that one of your purchases didn't scan and puts it into your bag anyway. You notice, but don't say anything, is this stealing?
No, that is a happy accident.
Yeah,
I
That
got
is-
a Browns jersey that way.
That's a happy accident.
A Browns
That-
jersey.
It
that
wasn't
is-
a nice jersey. It was from Target.
That is a register malfunction,
Mm-hmm.
and you are the
I
beneficiary.
was gonna say, wouldn't it beep on your way out though? Because that's the worst
Uh-uh.
thing. A little black man, me carrying my bag, got my receipt. It's like beep beep beep. Sir, can we check your bag? Like, sure, everything's fine. And it's like, well, what is this?
and then it's not on,
Watermelon
and then it's
doing
not
it.
on your receipt.
You know how they put
A watermelon
devices?
in the bag, and then the
sensor?
barcode.
Yeah, they put a sensor on a watermelon.
You know
I'm
how
just
easy it
saying.
is to steal a watermelon? Why is that under your shirt, sir?
Are
A
you pregnant?
watermelon. Well,
I actually have had that happen to me before. It was
I've had
a
too.
cheap jersey. But again, this is what I'm saying. I'm like, if it wasn't from a big corporation like Target, I would say something. But
I
it's
got-
like, whatever, Target, you're out $20, man. This is
Okay.
your
I
fault.
I got a pair of pajama pants that ended up in a bag already, and like they didn't scan it.
Well, I did
And
that
it's like
'cause-
it's like $9. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna
Mine
take
was
that win.
It was like $25, and I only noticed because I was like, this total is not right.
Well,
like
what
it should
sucks
have
is-
been a lot more expensive than
what
this.
sucks is if you bump something or whatever and you scan it twice.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, could you come over here?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? I go, I scanned the shirt twice.
Help me out here.
Are you sure? You don't have two shirts? No, I don't have two shirts. Anyway, most people in that scenario said that is stealing.
Can I give a scenario?
Yes.
Okay, say your local gas station it does not have a card reader, and you already pumped your gas, and they're like, okay, all we take is cash, and you don't have any.
Yeah, that's stealing.
Well, they're
Yeah,
not.
but a
Go-
lot of places. Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to let you drive away, are they? I mean,
Say if it's like $15, like
well, you're gonna have to go to the ATM or something.
so I'm gonna drive my car, leave the facility, go to the ATM.
They'll
and
probably
come back
make
and
you
pay for my
leave
gas.
like your. Oh my
Your
God!
ID or
I didn't
something.
get my plates renewed. I just thought of that. I gotta get that done. They'll probably make you leave like your license or something with them. Give us your cell phone, go to the ATM, and come back. I'm serious.
I know, but that's like so funny that came to your head.
Because I was
in
thinking
that
about
moment.
because I was thinking they would be like, "Oh, keep your license," and I was like, "My license might be
But you
expired."
would
I
think-
definitely didn't get my plates
But
renewed.
like you think, because there was a scenario where a local gas station had gas marked down, like the sign was wrong, and it was I think it said like 99 cents a gallon rather than like 1.99 or 2.99, whatever. And people they had a line around the block, and they were like, we don't know why we're so popular. And then they found out, and all these people had already dipped. They paid for
See,
the
but
gas.
that's
and left.
That's different. That's on
different.
them.
That's not stealing.
That's not stealing. That's their.
That's
they
another happy
messed up.
accident.
But
Yeah.
is that a moral thing? Like, okay,
No,
it may
you-
not
No.
be stealing, but it was an accident.
Listen, you don't know that it's an accident. If you see that it's 99 cents and you're like, well, maybe they're having some sort of
but
sale,
you know
get
it's
in it.
probably a mistake.
But
you know it's probably a mistake.
Get it while you can.
so you're actively stealing.
One
then.
thing I used to. and
That's
this
not
is-
it's
stealing.
their fault. It's not your fault.
But you know it's a mistake.
This is
Okay.
about the most scumbag thing I used to do in my entire life. Like I've done. This is like. This is stealing.
The most scumbag.
Yeah, like
oh,
this.
Boy.
This is how I like. because I'm a pretty good person. I don't like stealing, but this is the thing.
I'm a pretty big scumbag.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. But this is the thing that I used to do is I'd buy equipment when I played lacrosse from Dick's Sporting Goods, and nobody knew anything about lacrosse. So I would switch price tags with a cheap thing with an expensive thing, and they're just like, well, I don't know what things are.
What costs what,
yeah,
right?
So they're just like, they just ring it up.
But is that marked as the item? I don't understand how you can make that mistake. Everything has like a
they
number.
They look the exact same thing. So I would take the one off
like
of one
the
and put it on the
brand.
other.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, and I mean, it didn't even say the brands on them really.
Got you.
It just said like lacrosse stick, like, and then you'd be like,
got you.
And they'd be like, oh, this one's okay. That's how much this one cost. Fine. And yeah, so I feel bad about that.
You should go back and rectify that situation, Bill.
Yeah, it's been 20 years.
Hey, 20 years. I took a sticker off a lacrosse
stick
pole.
Shaft.
A lacrosse shaft. I mislabeled my shaft, and I would like to rectify that situation. Well, you're all good people. Congratulations. Except for Bill. He's a lacrosse thief.
I used to steal all the time.
Not the worst thing a lacrosse player's ever done.
I've got Sonic Temple passes for you. 3-day weekend passes. Back in Columbus, back in May. Metallica is headlining 2 nights, doing 2 separate shows. Slipknot's there in the middle, and then 50-plus amazing bands in there, too. So we'll put those in your mitts after the break. 35192 if you want to text.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio